What up, everybody? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
If you don't know, I'm your host, California Cal, and, we're here to have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
So that's kind of where the title of the show comes from, because it's really just shit that's like, there's a lot of things that can make you say, damn, dude, like that can go a lot of ways for a lot of people. And it's funny because what I realized was that happened to be the thing that when I was listening to people who I consider like mentors and stuff, and people who I look up to in the podcasting game, when something crazy would happen or something was like something wild that one of the guests would say, they'd be like, damn, dude, or damn, dude, or like, however weird, I was just like, oh, that shit is sick. So I think I've talked about that before, but anyway, just to give you a little introduction. Today, man, we're going to be getting into some really, really deep shit, because this is, and I probably should have said this even earlier, but this is part one of what's going to be a either 4 or 5, maybe even 6-piece series. It depends how long it takes me to unpackage a few of the different topics and ideas and stuff that I'd written down, because I went ham, dude. Like something just struck me. It's just like, bing, like, all right, I gotta do this. Like, I think I need to do this for myself, and I think that my family and people and kids and future generations and just the people need this, So we're calling this Journey to Inner Peace. Again, that was Journey to Inner Peace. So, welcome everybody. So, dude, to start off, I want to paint the picture of something, which is, first of all, how many of you guys can relate to having a freak out or like a breakdown or fucking just like I don't know. I always call it a freak out. I don't know if that's like, that means many things. A lot of times people are like, dude, you're like chilling. Like, what do you mean you're freaking out? Sorry, I'm like distracted. I'm trying to find a place for this. Yeah, so people will be like, what do you mean you're freaking out? I'm like, well, I guess inside and mentally. Because like if I were to just film myself when I say that I'm doing my freak out or I'm freaking out before I record the show, it's me just kind of sitting here, scrolling through social media, listening to different songs, doing different little like chores and tasks, like cleaning certain things to make sure like, or just, setting things in certain spaces or areas or whatever to where it doesn't feel like, I don't know, where it's like I feel good here, So, so that's my version of freak out. And I realize that sometimes people's freak out is like, they'll just go start cleaning. Other people, when they freak out, they'll start talking or eating or getting nervous or writing letters or fucking gossiping or working too much or stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh my God, no, I have to. And it's like people get neurotic about things that really aren't that important, I guess. Like in the grand scheme of life and survival. I mean, like, I guess getting money to be able to pay for your food and whatever, that, but like you could do that somewhere else too. So that's not really like absolutely necessary. You know what I mean? So why I say that is because for so long I was doing what I don't know how to say this. I worked jobs where it's like, I'm on the road to discovering what I love to do. I ended up doing a lot of things that I didn't like to do, and then I stopped doing those and I did different things. But my point of saying that is I did it for so long to where basically how I interpret it is like my spirit guide or my higher self or God or the universe or I don't know. I guess really just for me, I interpret it as my spirit guide. That's like the what resonates for me the most. So I feel like my spirit guide was kicking my fucking ass, like beating my ass, like douche, ooh, wow, like just straight dropping bows on my ass, dude. Like just full on ludicrous in 2001 for oh, dude, my spirit guide was just dropping bows on me, dude. And maybe I should get into that too. So how did I even, damn, I didn't even plan on talking about this. But I guess I'll go into that, is how did I identify my spirit guide? And that's a really good question, because I've never been asked this, and I just asked myself it. So kind of a weird thing, but how did I discover my... Okay, so it was with the help of other people. I heard other people talking about it, and I was like, what? Like, it kind of makes sense. It's like there's a lot of people that resonate with, like I've got angels who watch my back, and other things like that, or like, oh, God's got my back, or where it's like you just have this faith that something bigger than you is either guiding you, supporting you, or helping you, or leading you, or following you, or however it relates to. So it's not that uncommon to think about or to have as a thing, right? So I realized sorry, I'm jumping around there. Like within me being like, all right, like I do believe that I got a spirit guide or angels or something in this life that guide me, no doubt. So as I'm working a job that I'm just like not really fucking with, oh, what up, Trey? What's good, bro? So as I'm working a job that I don't like doing, and I'm living a life that I don't really love, how I believe that my spirit guide or God or whatever was kicking my ass was by providing me panic attacks. Like I started having crazy panic attacks at work.
Damn, dude.
Where like the walls were closing in on me, and fucking like I would just start spinning, I would just start sweating, I would turn red, and I would just start sweat. Like I would sweat through my undershirt and through my polo shirt. And like I was in like good shape at the time too. So like it didn't make sense that I would be like that, and it was just that I was freaking out so much. Oh, and I just gave a shout out on Instagram Live just a minute ago. Just if you're listening, I realize I keep forgetting about that. So anyway, so how I realized that my spirit guide was providing me with an ass kicking that I needed was by giving me these panic attacks.
Damn, dude.
Like, why else would I have? Why else? And I really started. This is looking back on it after everything I've learned, and really what this whole series is going to describe is how I kind of got to this conclusion. And like I said, I like to work from the final product and work backwards. I believe that that's how you achieve mastery, or that's how you start mastery, I should say. So I want to master my life, I want to like understand all areas of myself. So I start having mental breakdowns, and fucking, it's so bad to where I can't fucking, like, I'm like constantly, oh man, all right, let's get really real with this. I would be sweating so bad. And like I talked about in the last episode, having psoriasis, I had that kicked in. That was bad. That was embarrassing. And then I would see people look at my wrists or hands or whatever, and then that would cause me to freak out. And then just being around these people, my coworkers were awesome, but the people who would come into the store, it just was not, like, generally weren't that tight. And it was just like, it became so bad that this transferred into my everyday life. I know what I was going to say when I said, let's get really deep in this, was when I was at work, I used to walk around with like damp napkins. I would have like some damp napkins in like one pocket and like dry ones in another one, so I could like cool myself off. I could just like step behind the doors, cool myself off, talk to one of my friends that worked there or something, like wipe my head down, like just dry myself off. Like it was bad. Like it was really bad. And so I would just like randomly, it would just hit me at the most random times. It would mainly be if I had to talk to somebody who was going to ask me a bunch of questions, and I'm just like, my brain's in a whole nother planet, and these people are asking me about very, what I deem as superficial shit at the time. Like, I don't give a fuck about your computer. Like, I don't give a fuck how many gigabytes your computer has or you want. Or like, this is not like, like this has nothing to do with real life. Like, fuck, like, yes, absolutely it does, as I'm sitting here with the computer, but like, we're all consumers of something. Well, maybe not all, but majority of us on this planet are consumers of something. And we fucking, like, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole different thing. I realize I say that a lot. Oh, it's a whole different thing, because it is. My brain goes so many ways. So I'm freaking out everywhere, just at work. Oh, so I'm all over the place. Sorry, because this is how my life was at the time. So when I realized this, and I think I did this in an older podcast, when I was describing my times when I would have panic attacks and stuff, like, my story's all over the place, and I keep revisiting it. I keep revisiting it, and I'm like, why is this so everywhere when I go to talk about it? Like, I'm open and I'm honest about it, but the timelining of everything is all over. I'm just like, damn, maybe I haven't sat with it long enough. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, it transferred over into me I would go to, like, my best friends' houses and be hanging there. Like, we would literally be like the premise would be to, like, I would go meet up with my homies, whoever, after work. And at this time, shout out AJ, shout out Cheetah, shout out Skins, Hoochie. It was like mainly us hanging out at that very point in time. And it was just like, I would go and hang out with them, and I would just start, like, having a panic attack. Like, oh my gosh, like, I need to, like, go somewhere. Like, I wouldn't even feel safe in front of my best friends. Like, that's crazy, because these are, like, my really, really, really good friends. Like, I've known since longer than anybody, like, people who were all, like, family with each other and shit. And it's like we all grew up with each other's parents and shit, and siblings and all of that. So it's like, yeah. So that's what started going on. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, this is absolutely terrible. Like, naturally, I'm, like, a very, like, hot running person as it is. I've just always been that way, I'm just a very hot-blooded person, and not like a temper, but, like, just physically, like, I'm always, like, hot, or even I'm, like, ice cold. It's weird. I say that's when I'm, like, part reptilian or something. The white half of me is reptilian, and I'm just like hey, I always joke about that, but people say there's, like, who fucking knows, bro? There's so much crazy shit out in this world. The conspiracies, like, I should do a whole episode on conspiracies that are, like, relatively true but very questionable, and just kind of conspiracy theories in general, because that would be cool to document all the shit that's going on at this time. I'm gonna write that down, actually, so I don't forget. So, freak out. Sorry, I'm writing. That was a very half-assed note, but that works. Yeah, so I was freaking out everywhere. So the last straw was, I'm at work, and I'll just say, I was working at Staples at the time. Staples in La Jolla. It doesn't even exist anymore, La Jolla Village Square. I'm working there, and keep in mind, I got a lot of really tight homies. They're, like, some of my best friends ever were working there with me. And even having them there wasn't enough for, oh no, I think at this point they quit, or I don't know if all of them, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, this is all over the place, but they called in a meeting, a mandatory meeting, and everybody's supposed to go into the room, the office. And keep in mind, all my coworkers are really, 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 really fucking cool. Like, shout out to all my Staples La Jolla people. You guys were sick as fuck. I love all you guys, always. You guys all, yeah, that was a very special place in my heart for all those people. But the job itself was torture on me, even though all these cool ass people were there. And I'm just like, dude, like, how the fuck? It wasn't adding up in my brain. Like, how am I surrounded by cool ass people that I love, but and is not enough to like override what I'm doing on a daily basis and how I feel about it. And I was like being tortured, like, fuck, man. So we called in the mandatory meeting, and I stepped one foot in the office door and I fucking just walk right out. And I'm like, oh God. And I didn't even say that. I was just like, I don't even know if I said words. I was just like fucking sweating and shaking. And I'm like, holy shit, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I got the fuck out of there. I went outside. Excuse me. I went outside and fucking one of the managers came out and he was like, bro, like, it was funny because he always kept it super professional with me. It was a sick ass older dude named Vince. He was this black dude. He was really tall and he was smooth and he always smoked and smelled like Black and Milds. And he was just so like, he was like super tall, skinny, and smooth. And he would like, you could tell he was with the shits, but like he kept it very like, he kept it very professional and kind of almost took like a grandpa type of role at the store. But he was with the shit. So I would like try and get it to come out of him. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know I could see it in you, bro. Like, and he would keep it professional, but he came outside and he kept it fucking all the way hood with me. Which felt really good because all of a sudden he was like, he was like really real him came out and he was just like, Calvin, what the fuck is going on, homie? And I was like, oh shit, like, I knew it, bro, I knew it. Like, well, looking back. Anyway, at the time, I was just like, oh, and he was just like, man, like, you good, bro? Like, what is up, Doug? Like, what's going on, man? Like, what's happening? And I'm just like, man, I'm like freaking the fuck out, dude. I can't do this. And he's like, man, just take some time, like, you know, but like, we really got to do this meeting, bro. Like, I don't mean to be like that, but this, you know what I mean? Like, you know how important this is. And I'm like, I know, man, I'm sorry. And this is whatever the fuck, you guys can do it. I can't do this. And he's like, damn, man, like, all right, well, this is where it gets hazy again. I don't remember if I just went home. I think I just went home. But at the same time, I feel like I signed some paper where I got to like take a leave. Excuse me. Or I got to take a leave of absence. And I was like, I took my leave of absence and I just did not come the fuck back. So I don't remember if I signed for it, if I just had to call or if emailing it was possible at the time. I'm not really sure. So I started looking at this. And I'm like, okay, so I'm freaking out. At the same time, keep in mind why I think this freak out and the timing of it was so almost, what's the word? Destined. Yeah, this freak out and anxiety, that's what it was. It was extreme anxiety. Like absolutely extreme anxiety. I was just, fuck, dude. I didn't know where to start. But I realized that, like, why I'm even mentioning the timing of this is because I was a couple months into starting Fin to Swim, my swim company where we teach babies to save their lives to swim and help adults overcome lifelong fears, by the way. You can find that at www.fintoswim.com and on Instagram at fin2swim, FIN2swim. Anyway, I had just gotten good enough to be able to like work with the kids like by myself now, where I'm just like, I got this shit. It doesn't really matter what age you are or size or what language you speak. I can do this, you know? There was times where I'd get stumped and I would have to like look things up, ask questions, do whatever I had to do to like figure it out. But I'm like, it's so scary when you have a stable paying job to just stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like, for reals, it takes a lot of fucking it takes a lot of pussy to to be able to do such a thing like that. Oh, you get it? Because everyone says it takes some balls to do it. I was gonna say guts, but guts is dorky. So yeah. So it takes some real veg to do that. Okay, that's anyway, let's get back to the point. That's funny. That's also gonna be in what's gonna be considered some of the deepest episodes I've ever recorded.
Damn, dude.
Oh, that's how we have fun, dude. We keep it real here. So I had the freak out that forced my quit. And I was hanging on to the job, and I was just like, I would have thoughts in the back of my head that I'm like, I don't need this job anymore at Staples. And I'm like, I don't need it anymore. And but you know, like, what if blah blah blah? What if I don't have enough this, that, and then that was my repeating thing over and over. It was like, what if I don't have it? What if I don't have it? And that was tiring me out to the end of the day, to where it was like, it was stopping me from putting more work into my swim company, because I was exhausted from thinking all of that. You know, when you overthink, it's really exhausting. So I realized, like, damn, my spirit guide kicked my ass in this way, gave me such extreme anxiety, because I wasn't living my life in alignment with what I love to do and what I know I'm good at, you know? And it's like, because I wasn't taking that chance on myself, and I am a person who, I mean, like, I'm relatively a risk taker, you know, I guess people would consider me that to a degree. And I just wasn't taking the risk, you know? And that's the thing, is I was looking at it like it was a risk. But that's where we got it all fucked up, is when you start your own business and you start your own company, it's an investment, not a risk.
Damn, dude.
Whew, that was fire. That just came out of nowhere. Real shit though, when you go to start your own company, it's an investment, it's not a risk. And if you think about it, every investment is a risk, right?
Damn, dude.
Boom. Damn, that's deep as fuck. Wow. Real shit though, because you don't know. It's like, you could invest in a house and a piece of property, and what if a fucking tornado, tsunami, hurricane, earthquake, whatever the fuck happens, and your shit's crumbled, and you just weren't ready. There was just nothing you could do about it, right? Like, granted, you might still have the property, you can rebuild it, whatever. But I mean, that's a negative investment if we're just talking on behalf of investments. Now, you might be able to catch it back up later, you know what I'm saying? Because you can reinvest, and, you know, nothing just... And then everything is impermanent. So, yeah, that's crazy to think. So I'm going through this whole thing, and I fucking finally quit my fucking job, or I freaked the fuck out and just left my job. And I'm like, damn, I got these skills, and I got this business that I started on the side. I got no choice but to go 100% now, because otherwise I'm gonna fucking starve out here and not be able to even drive to the fucking beach if I want to. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. So that's how I was like, that's how I started. That's how I linked my spirit guide kicking my ass in a positive way, which gave me extreme anxiety and mental breakdowns, which caused me to freak out, leave my work, and invest into myself with my own energy and my own time and my own ideas and my own schedule.
Damn, dude.
So that's crazy, because that's why I'm appreciative of anxiety and freakouts and mental breakdowns and shit like that, is because these are the greatest learning lessons. Like, this is how you fucking, each one of those is just a spoke in your wheel to be able to fucking roll. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're just fucking boom, stuck. If we got a bunch of fucking pieces, build a wheel. Why just sit there with it and be stuck? You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
So, whew, we've been going in. This is about to go even crazier. This is about to go hella deeper. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here in 1 second.
Damn, dude.
Welcome back. Oh man. So, dude, this is actually going to be a long fucking episode because I realize how far I'm in. Okay, sorry, I forgot to set the timer. I realize how far in I am to this episode with what I have written down. I've only hit like basically like the way I think and do shit is this is upside down, but I'm showing the camera my workbook. I write in bullet points, and that's for the easiest way for me to just fucking get through shit, whatever. I used to even do this in school too. Like, I don't know, if I would write an essay, I would just write all bullet points and then just be like, boom, like, all right, cool. So anyway, we only got through 2.5 bullet points from all we've got to unpack here because, like I said, I'm really, really going in on this. So, like I said, I'm thankful for my mental breakdown. I'm thankful for my spirit guide kicking my ass. And I'm thankful for these lessons. And I'm thankful for the freak out that had me leave my job, right? So, what do? I'm out here. I'm in like my early 20s. I just got done. So at this point in my life, when I started working at Staples was the first thing I did to like get back up on my feet after breaking my skull, neck, and back, having my friends murdered, splitting with my ex, getting fired, and dropping out of firefighter school.
Damn, dude.
So this is like, I'm still like very like fresh out to the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm still just very like, damn, like brand new. Like my entire life is just different now. So I have this freak out and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Forced me into my own business, which I had already started, and I was just kind of like 1 foot in. So, you know, nothing really ever gets done when you just got 1 foot in. So I fucking jumped all the way in and really started doing this shit. And it's now been 11 years that I've been doing fin to swim, and I just won't quit. There's times I'm so fucking upside down in my money and whatever. And like, to be straight up, I'm a terrible businessman. I'm a great person and a great teacher, and I've got some good ass stories. I wouldn't even say I'm a great person. I'm a decent person. Like I got a good heart. There you go. I got a great heart. That's what I should say. Because my actions aren't always like, oh, he's a great dude, whatever. But whatever. That's a whole nother thing. Again. It's probably gonna be shirts someday that say that of me if this ever gets popular. Oh, but that's another thing. Or maybe not, because I just said it and made it unfunny. Who knows? So having the freakouts, investing into my business, I'm doing this shit. So I'm still like, I did that and I'm still having these panic attacks. And that's the word I was trying to say before, is panic attacks. I keep saying freak out, but that's what I mean when I say freak out is a panic attack or anxiety. It's an anxiety and a panic attack. And a little bit of like a nervous breakdown all wrapped into the same thing. To me, that's a freak out. Well, one version of it, because there's many ways to freak out. But when I'm talking about this, I mean, so... Oh, excuse me, that was a good stretch. So I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm just like, so like, I'm known as being a pretty fucking chill person. And I've been like that the most of my life. Like, you know, like I said, I have my harder side and whatever like that. But at the same time, like, I've always just been chill though, you know? And, I'm known as a chill person. I started becoming like a fucking like tense and fucking high strung sort of person. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, I don't even know anybody like this. None of my influences are like this. Like, how am I turning into this? I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. I'm like, how am I becoming fucking high strung? Like, this is so fucking weird, right? So one day I'm working and I see one of the people who I previously knew as one of the most, what would even be the word? like, I don't know. I don't know if high strung is that offensive. High strung to call somebody high strung, like just very like like tense and like. I mean, I guess I don't know if that can be offensive. I don't mean it to be offensive. But it's just very just like a like oh my gosh, you're like worrisome, tense, high strung. I guess. I guess that's fair. Type of person and just very like snappy and quick and everything was just like everything was a thing. And one day I just see her like float into work and into my work area, and I'm like, and I had previously known her from other things, and then and oh no, I'll just say shout out to you, Daniela. Much love to you. Yeah, no, I mean like you remember the impact this had on your life, so I remember when I saw her come in, when I saw you came in, if you ever listen to this, she just like came floating in. And I was like, what? Who is this? She just like comes like floating into my work area. And I'm like, what did you, what? I'm like, what'd you do? Like, what happened? Like, how, what? Tell me, like, who are you? What happened? Like, I just couldn't wrap my mind around her presence. Like how, what did you do? Like, tell me. So she tells me, and it's like, oh, it's this thing called Vipassana meditation. And I'm like, Vipassana? Like, okay, like, cool. And she gives me a website, and the website is dhamma.org, DHAMMA.org. And I'll go back over that because that's a whole nother, I'm like, I don't know if I can even fit that into this first part. I don't know. I'll try. But that's something else I'll also get into, which also kind of ties all this together. So meditation, I'm like, meditation. And the other thing too, to tie this into the previous 2 episodes where I talked about psoriasis, was the only thing I had read online that people in the United States were doing to heal psoriasis was there was a couple articles or blogs or whatever and videos written about people being like, oh, meditation helped me cure it. And I was like, what? I was like, nah, but wait, what? Like, I'm like, how? And I'm like, what do they have, like meditation cream or something? Like,
Damn, dude.
oh yeah, that was terrible. That's how much I didn't know. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't get, like, what? But because I did understand that psoriasis comes on from stress, and, stress can come on from many ways. That can be from our diet. You could be living a happy life, but having a terrible diet, that means there's still stress because your body's stressing to digest and what to do with that food, right? So it's a version of stress. But the majority of us are living with hella mental stress and energetic stress and spiritual stress. And that goes way deeper than just work stress and shit like that, right? So think about it like this. This is what blew my mind was when I heard this. So I went to, let me think how I want to order this real quick. Okay, I'll say this. What I learned was this, I guess, theory or mindset or way of thinking or something, which is you take a shower to get clean, right? Obviously. And it's like, well, what does it take to keep in mind, let's simplify this, boil it down. What does it take to take a shower? What does it require to take a successful shower? Well, it's not just the water hitting you that makes you clean. You can smell like shit, be dirty as fuck, have whatever on your hands, your grease on your face, whatever. Just let the water hit you and nothing's going to happen. You can also just use your hands and kind of like try and scrub it. And, that alone's not going to all the way do it. It'll help. It's not going to do it. So at the same time, okay, well then what about soap? If you just pour soap on yourself, or you just touch soap on yourself, that doesn't just get you clean either. You can rinse that off, and that doesn't equal being clean either. Right? Obviously. So there's some work that's required in order for you to actually get clean with the elements provided.
Damn, dude.
Meaning, you have to wet if you use a washcloth or whatever, loofah, I was gonna say squeegee, loofah or whatever you know what I'm saying? You got to get it wet. You got to dispense or fucking lather or however, whatever type of soap you use. You got to lather it. And then you've got to like scrub and you've got to go over every piece of your body. Otherwise, it's not clean. That's why when little kids, like they first are learning to shower, it's like, did you shower did you clean it behind your ears? Oh, did you clean your butt? Whatever. It's like, you got to go over every part. Right. This is basic knowledge that we pretty much all agree on, at least in the United States, for the most part, because there's a lot of you smelly motherfuckers out there. So maybe this is very valuable for somebody already, like in that sense. No, but my point is that, but what about our insides? Okay, well, we eat good, right? Like, okay, I need to have clean insides. I need to eat good. I want to be clean on the outside. I want to feel good. I need to fucking take care of, take a shower, get in shape, whatever. That's going to help my inside. Getting in shape, exercising, that's going to help my insides and my outsides. Eating good's going to help my insides. And then, which will help my outsides. And then, but then what about the other, like, third pillar of life? Right? Like, what am I talking about? Well, what about, like, okay, so think about it like this. We have our food, which helps take care of us inside. We have our, bathing and stuff okay, let me re-say this a little bit. If you take a shower, that cleanses the outside of your body, and it feels good internally too. When you eat good, it cleanses the inside of your body. It fuels it legitimately and cleanses it. But then what about your emotions? What about how you feel at the end of the day? What do you do with that? How do you clean that?
Damn, dude.
Right? Like, that's pretty fucking deep, right? Like, what do you do to clean that? Like, what about your the way I also like to think about is like, what about our spirit? What about our soul? What about our energy, our brain, our thinking, our creativity? What about the thing? If you don't believe that you have a spirit or soul or anything like that inside of you, the thing that makes you alive and think original thoughts or even repeated thoughts or whatever, or that has you agree or disagree with anything that's being said, what about that piece of you?
Damn, dude.
Really think about that. Like, dude, like, we take a bath to cleanse the outside of ourselves. We fucking eat good to cleanse the inside of ourselves. But then what about our energy, our spirit, the godliness in us, our brain, our thinking? How do we clean our thinking? How do we clean that version of inside of us? It takes more than just exercising and eating good to have that mentality be clean. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
So what I learned was that that's where meditation comes in. And that's why people have been doing it for as long as people have been eating and cleaning themselves.
Damn, dude.
Damn, right? Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, how do we, like, okay, so then what does that mean? So what I learned was meditation gives you the ability, let me say this, the same way that you have to go over your entire body with soap and scrubbing and water is the same way we have to go through and scan our insides and bring awareness to our breathing and our feelings and our emotions and our thoughts and go through and scan through our body and cleanse those things. Because once you go through and you can think about how if you can acknowledge how the top of your head feels, how the inside of your forehead feels, how the outside feels, how every piece of you exists, and you can check in with every fucking millimeter of your body going up and down, you start to understand that, whoa, this is how I clean my fucking thoughts. This is how I clean my fucking attitude. This is how I clean my perspective. Like, holy fucking shit, dude.
Damn, dude.
Like, everybody should be doing something of that version, you know? And it's like the closest thing that we have people doing that I notice is praying. And a lot of times, like, unfortunately, people are misguided with prayers or whatever, but whether you are or aren't, I think it's tight. Like, fucking do that all the time and as much as you can, you know? And whether you pray or not, I mean, I pray also, and I also believe that prayer and meditation are two absolutely different things, because it's two completely different acts. So definitely do your prayers, whatever, you know, ultimately my favorite way, like, and then also even me saying what I'm grateful for 3 times every morning and every night is distinctly different than praying, which is also distinctly different from meditating.
Damn, dude.
So, crazy shit, right? Man, so I learned that and I'm like, holy fuck, like that's the power of meditation and that's why and how it has the ability to cure psoriasis. Whoa. So I started trying all sorts of corny shit and doing whatever I could. And if you go back to episode 4 with Cashy SD, he talks about it. Excuse me. Where he was like, excuse me. Where he's like, man, when I first started meditating, I was trying everything, whether it was corny or whatever. I would be like, oh no, that's just stupid. Let me try something else. But like, that's how I was feeling too. But really, once the importance hit me of, yo, we take showers for the outside of our body, we eat good for the inside of our body, and meditation is for cleansing the thoughts and the feelings and the energy and the attitude of our body.
Damn, dude.
Once I hit that, I was like, whoa, this is interesting. My brain started shifting and things started coming off as different. Like life started occurring hella differently. So it was at that time where I started getting, like I said, like tying everything together here kind of was, all right, I quit my job, or I freaked the fuck out and left my job. Actually, I didn't quit. I freaked out and left. And then fortunately, I had my thing on the side, which I was like only 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It forced me to go, you know what, fuck it. We're jumping in, literally. We're diving in head first. And I actually, you know, literally going into a swimming pool. So I'm like thinking, damn, how can I start? I noticed how I would act and what I would do out in life had a pretty direct result on how my business would work. Like if I had a good perspective and if I was doing good and being a good person, then like business would be really good and it would treat me good and life would treat me good. But when I was on some bullshit and doing whatever, then like it just wasn't treating me good and I couldn't figure things out. I realized that I knew how to hit these high peaks, but at the same time, the peak was just the top of a fucking circle of fucking, you know, the vicious circle, as everybody says. It was just the highest view of the peak of that fucking vicious circle that I was living in and on, or however you want to call it. So I was just like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy, man. So like I said, I started experimenting with meditation. I couldn't do it. It was just too whatever, but I was thinking about it. And just like in episode, like I said in episode 4 with Kashi, it was just like, oh man, I was trying all sorts of funny shit and it just wasn't working, you know? So I'm like, okay, I'm just stuck in this cycle and I can't fucking get off. So that's when I kind of got forced into my first like personal development class. And I'm so fucking thankful because that 100% fucking changed my life and my perspective and my views on pretty much everything. It allowed me to like let go of any persona I thought I had about myself, or that I needed to look like or act like or sound like or be like or fit in with or whatever. Like, for the most part, I didn't care too much to like fit in or not, like, which kind of caused me to like fit in easily, you know what I mean? Like, my goal was to like get to know, to have as many like friends basically as possible, but not to be popular. I just wanted to like know people. And, you know, like, if you listen to earlier episodes, I explained that that was really valuable to me, for me to go and just meet everybody. And it's kind of cool because now, like, when life comes back around full circle, I see so many people that it's like, how the fuck do you know such and such? And it's like, me and such go back since fucking second grade. And it's like, well, how do you know such and such? Like, oh, like, we've been hanging tough for the past like 6 years. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, so it's crazy. So the first fucking thing, I'm like refusing to go. I'm getting invited to I'm getting invited to this class called Landmark Education at the time. I think it's called Landmark Worldwide now. And I highly recommend it. It's fucking dope as fuck. You'll read some wacky ass reviews that people write online, and it's like really crazy. I'm like, what class did you take, bro? Like, but you can see it's really triggering because it really goes into who you are. You know what I mean? And like, for me, what I went a couple years in it, and it was fucking life changing. It allowed me to like speak up. It allowed me to break, or it allowed me to learn to start breaking the vicious cycle, because I still have certain vicious cycles that I fall into and still live into, but I'm like, I break it down, and I'm getting better. And so basically I go to Landmark under the impression of, because my parents went and they knew people that went, and everybody's like, oh, so cool, I'm like, all right, like, whatever, that's cool, good for you, that was my thing. I was like, good for you. And it got put to me where it's like, look, dude, this can help grow your business. And at the time, that's what I was all about. I was grinding, like working day and night. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, let me go check it out. So I go, and that shit's on a whole nother level. It definitely helped me grow my business and understand my business and all that, for sure, without a doubt. But that's like the smallest fraction of benefits that came from there. Like, for one, the people that I've met have been some absolutely amazing people. Shout out to all my Landmark folks. I fucking love you guys. So I guess just to say quickly, yeah, my business got better. I learned how to communicate with myself better and understand myself, which helped me also learn to communicate with others better. Damn, I need to go into this deeper, actually, because there's some sick ass things which I should share, which really need to be said. But oh man, let me think real quick. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take a break really fast here, and then I'm gonna really fucking dive in this, because this is some deep ass shit, like, for real. So one moment, yeah.
Damn, dude. California Cal.
What up, everybody? We bike. Appreciate you guys. So, man, we're going in on this. Excuse me. This one, pretty dope. I don't know. I'm having fun. This is really deep, I think, honestly. So talking about my experience at Landmark. Damn, this should be its own episode. Fuck. Whatever. It's all good. You know what? Nah, fuck it. We'll just go in on it here. Fuck it. Benefits, right? Am I shiny? I look shiny in the camera. So, some major things that happened when I first, within the first class. So I went from 2012 to about 2015. Yeah, about from like 2012 to 2015, maybe 16. I want to say 2015. So I was there for a couple of years, and it's just like class, I mean, it's like like, it's like depending on the classes. The first one, it's like a Damn. I got something in my throat. So the first one's, it's like set up like seminar style basically, where there's like classes and there's somebody talking, and then you can go up and share. But the way that you learn is like so different from anything that I've ever experienced before, because it's like through people sharing their stories, you realize that we all speak this universal language of like pain, hurt, love, lust, sadness, scaredness. I learned that one big thing I took was that like I learned that everybody else is equally as scared as I am of them. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of in general. And then also that like a major thing was that I'm just like throwing little like bullet points out there, but something like I learned a lot of things about perspective, about life, that really made me realize, damn, like it made me be able to appreciate life a lot more. And that was the first one. Just very simply put, there's like many like details that are crazy, but it really, really ultimately just made me appreciate life. The second one I did was the advanced course, and that shit was off the charts, dude. That was probably one of my favorite ones out of all of them. Absolutely, easily. It was so fucking sick, because kind of how I interpreted was the first class, the forum was like more about you. And then the next one is about kind of like everybody else in relation to life and how you relate to them. And that's what I really got, was like, holy shit. Like I realized that the way that I see the colored lenses that I wear of life are that like my voice doesn't matter, for one, is a huge one, and that nobody hears me, and that I'm like, and I'm dumb, that like I'm even incapable of talking and putting good words together. That was another one. I learned to start loving myself. This is when I first even thought to love myself. Like I've never even, because through everybody else's perspective and through all of this, I'm like, holy shit, like I never even realized that I'm the one like creating all these circumstances and situations for myself. Like, holy fuck, it's not even everybody else. It's like, if I go everywhere, if everywhere I go, everybody's an asshole, who's the asshole? You know what I mean?
Damn, dude.
It's like, if everywhere you go, everybody's an asshole, you got to check yourself. And that happens to me too, because I'm like, man, I had a fucking great ass morning. Dude at the fucking shop was a dick. Next guy was a dick. Next guy was a fucking dick. I'm just like, what the fuck? By the time I'm at the third or fourth place, I'm just like, man, fuck this. Like, and I'm just like, somebody's like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, hey, good, whatever. You know, I'm just like, oh, whoa, hold on, check myself. You know, like that's me. So I really learned how to relate to people and how we relate to each other and shit. And like, one of the best exercises I've ever done in my life, it was called I don't want to say too much, because there's a lot of stuff that has to be done that leads up to it to really deliver the impact and how dope it actually is. You know, if you just do this, I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm not an expert and I don't have an affiliation with them really. So I'm just, well, not really, but yeah, I don't have any affiliation with them other than I took the classes. So probably the biggest thing and this blew my mind, dude, and this is really what started leading me on a spiritual path too, which was, after like 17 years, I hadn't told my parents I love them in like 17 years at that point in life. And
damn, dude,
that's crazy. Like, we were all kind of, and none of us said it to each other either. It wasn't like we hated each other or something or whatever, but it was more like, well, yeah, I'm here. You know, you already know I love you. I don't got to say it. That was the context that we lived in, was, oh, you already know, I don't got to say it. You know, look, it's in the proof. You're here. Like, look at what you got. Look at your things. Look what I do, this, that. You know, it's like, it's in the evidence. And it's like, all right, cool. That was our understanding. But at the same time, it's like, once we said that, everybody was like, what? And I'm like, oh, That is bad, huh? No, and then it's not bad. It's just like, bro, like you got a lot of healing to do. I'm just like, holy shit. They didn't say it like that. This is all me paraphrasing my own interpretations. Um, so I'm like, okay. So finally, after 17 years, I'm able to tell my parents I love them, and that was huge. So what really tripped me out was and I put this. I wish I would have documented it because I didn't know. I mean, I'm sure there's pictures of me from this time frame in general, somewhere on a computer or something. But I lost 35 pounds in about a week and a half. And I'm not even kidding. That's no exaggeration. And I wasn't exercising. I didn't eat any different. I wasn't doing anything extreme, nothing. I wasn't starving myself. I wasn't fasting. I wasn't doing anything. And what somebody said to me when this happened, because everybody's like, damn, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, what'd you do? Like, wow. And I was shocked. I'm like, where did that all go? And somebody was like, bro, like, that's emotional baggage, dude. Like, when you let go of, when you, like, it's kind of like, I guess you could look at this either way, as letting go or embracing. Because you kind of got to do both at the same time. That, that's the reality, and that it's like, wow, like that really is, there's probably some pain behind this for some reason. There's something is not right if you can't express that you love each other to your parents or your family. Like something's not right between you guys if that's the case, right? So, and we were living under the context of, yeah, of course I love you, so I don't gotta say it. But that pain, that weight went away, and I was like, what the fuck? And around that time, I started having crazy dreams and just random visions and different thoughts. And it was in the first class that I've explained the story. Shout out to Mark Halverson. He asked me, bro, like, when's the last time you cried? And I told that story, and I was like, damn, it's been, 10, 11 years, whatever. And he asked me, like, how can you be a real man how can you call yourself a real man if you can't experience every range of emotion? A real man can feel everything top to bottom. And I was just like, damn, that blew my mind.
Damn, dude.
There's I could really dive into that in other older episodes. Anyway, that happened in the first class also. And then so I'm talking about the second class. And damn, a bunch more happened. I also learned through that class, I also stopped believing in blame and fault altogether. Like, I don't believe that anybody's to blame for anything, and I don't believe that anybody's to fault for anything. Like, they're pretty much just what is. Like, things, it either happened or it didn't happen, or it's happening or it's not happening. And it's just what happened. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you spilled the juice. Well, if I don't believe in blame, then I won't say you spilled the juice. If I remove blame and fault, if I stop believing in blame and fault, then I will no longer say, oh, you spilled the juice, and that will no longer make me mad. Now, if I see that the juice is spilled and I do not believe or participate in blame or fault, then I go, oh, the juice is spilled. Let me go get a napkin or a towel or whatever. Right?
Damn, dude.
Because that's how you help. Because you're not blaming anybody. So as soon as we stop blaming, we start helping.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
That's fire right there, dude. Like, real fucking shit. Yeah, dude. So that happened. And then, so my brain is just starting to like blow to pieces in the coolest of ways, right? So next, there's just so much in that class. I also started that was the first time I had a public speaking experience where it was fucking cool, because I went, oh, that's another thing, actually. So, actually, I liked that advanced course so much, I went back and assisted, because you can go back and help again, which is really fucking cool. So, I went back and I assisted, and I got so much out of that. And it was when I assisted, I got to go do the public speaking, or I don't want to say public speaking, but I got to go stand up in front of several hundred people, like 300-400 people, and talk and like give. I was like one of the lead people on our team that helps orchestrate the whole thing. Well, I don't know if I've ever even said the word orchestrate. That's cool. So, oh shit, I gotta check the time. I gotta go teach some babies pretty soon here. I got about 30 minutes. Yeah, this is gonna probably be like a longer part series, 5 or 6 actually, rather than 4. Because we're only halfway through this, so this is some fucking good ass content though. I'm so glad that I documented this. That was some fire, and I'm glad that all came to me right now. So the next class I take is self-expression leadership program. Maybe I took a communications class. I don't know. So I did. So okay. So I'll just say them. So I took self-expression leadership program. SELP is what they call it. I did both the communications courses. Those were pretty fire. I think I wasn't mature enough to, or like, I wasn't mature enough to handle the second one. Like I was just, oh man, that was where I met and saw my ex-girlfriend for like the first time, and I was fucking bugged the fuck out on how hot she was, and just I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. But anyway, so that's I was distracted as fuck, let's say that. Okay, so yeah, so I do those 2 communication. I'll talk about that one next, actually. So I do self-expression leadership program. This one is where this shit goes hard. 97 Nissan hard body hard, like a fucking bodyguard wearing a Nissan hard body Hot Wheels jacket, bodyguarding a hard body Nissan 97 while doing karate, hard body karate, and really cool Kimosabian. What the fuck was I talking? I went way. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The fuck was I talking about? Oh, so like, okay. Anyways, self-expression leadership, and then I started rhyming a bunch of bullshit, and then. Anyways, let's just say in that class, you basically like you pick a project. You pick a project under the context of what would you do if money and time were no issue whatsoever. And I'm like, yo, this is fucking cool. All right, like, damn, it took me a while to think about it because, like, what the fuck, like, like, what? And you sit down and you really seriously think about it, and you really create this project, and it's like, holy shit, okay, this is crazy as fuck, dude. So I remember I created a blog. I don't even know if it exists anymore. I don't remember what the name of it anymore. But it was all over the place. But basically, I wanted to create a blog to be able to help people overcome It was like a place for people to find relatability and to like help overcome and know that there's other people out there who've gone through similar things. For people who've experienced losing somebody of a young age, because I lost my little sister when I was a kid. It was like, I don't know, that's what hit my heart, and I was like, wow, like that means a lot to me. So I did that, and so I was gonna do a book and this and that. I had all these different ideas and ways I was gonna go with it, but that was eventually what I got to. Was all right, I'm gonna do a blog because I can reach the most people. It's free, and it just kind of stays there. Like, cool. So we do that. But it's crazy because also in this class, part of one of the projects is to write down your entire friends group of everybody you know. And that was crazy. Like to write out all your circles of people that you know, and you write down what walk of life you know them from. So if it's like work, boom, and then like, so work with a circle, and then what is it called? Venn diagram? I don't know. Where it's like a circle and then lines and then more circles on it. Venn diagram? I don't, or is it just one circle? I don't know. Anyway, but there's like bullets off of the main circle, right? With another circle that says something, and they connect to whoever connects to each other. And so, okay, so I write out the people that I'm still kind of in contact, that I was in contact with at that time, who were from this job that I had, and then the people that I know from this job that I had, then the people that I hang out with from school, then the people that I hang out with that are like my like best friends, like my, you know, like my main circle of homies, and then people who are relatives, and then people who I just kind of kick it with sometimes, and then people who are who I talk to and affiliate and associate with a lot, but we don't really know each other. But there's still an influence. All these things, you're writing it out, you know, like, oh, who you do your activities with. Oh, for me, I'm like, okay, who I go motorcycling riding with, who I go, you know, like my circle of friends, we go smoke weed. My circle of friends, we talk business. My circle of friends who are entrepreneurs. My circle of friends who are whatever, right? So I wrote all that out, and I'm like, whoa. I don't know why, but it was so mind-blowing. I don't really know what about it was. It was just to understand. I guess it was just perspective of like, holy shit, like, you really aren't as alone as you think. Like, I could legitimately call, like, the majority of the people that I had jotted down on that paper, and they would be like, what up, you know, and be happy to fucking talk to me, or, you know, or call me right back later or whatever, you know? So it's really fascinating just to really look at that, like, holy shit, man, like, we really are more connected and all of this than we really fucking believe, you know? So one of the most powerful things that I did in that class was, one of the exercises was, you practice pitching your project. So you would tell your project in front of, or like, I guess the one I'm trying to talk about, because there were so many things that we did. It was a really, really badass class. It was really fun, by the way. What am I all tongue tied for? What I'm trying to say is, one of my favorite parts, one of the most impactful parts. It was also the most frustrating part for me. And I was getting fucking pissed about it, dude, because basically what it is, I've been working on my project for like, several, you know, a couple weeks already. And, you know, that means I got a pretty good idea of what the project is in my head. So, but, you know, what you go and say, it doesn't always line up with what you're actually thinking. You know, like what you're actually thinking doesn't line up with what you actually go out and say. So, being that that's the case, that's why we practice this. And we would go and we would have a group of like 4 or 5 people, and you stand there and you tell these, you know, if you're one of the people, you tell these other 3 or 4 people what your project is and what it's about. And you've got like, excuse me, you've got like 3 or 5 minutes to explain it. And then at the end of it, they all explain back what they just heard to one by one. And they can write notes or whatever they want to keep the memory fresh, right? Or to not have an impression by the other person what they said. So they're like taking notes on it too. They read it back. Every one of them says something that has nothing to fucking do with my project. And I'm like, how the fuck did you hear that? Like that, what? Like, what are you talking? How? I'm like, okay. So then we discuss it too, you know, and it's all like in a controlled setting, so you're not arguing with somebody, but it's like, okay, like, how did you get that out of what I just shared and said? And they're like, oh, you said this and you said this and it said this, so that led me to believe this. And I'm like, what? Fuck. Oh, okay, cool, man. Like, all right. So that was so powerful because I practiced it so many times to finally, my thoughts matched my words.
Damn, dude.
And I could not fucking believe it because I like didn't know how to talk before, and sometimes I still don't, as you can hear. But it was just so liberating to be able to be like, holy shit, like I can say stuff and people can understand it. That's why I'd get so frustrated and stuff, is because I didn't know how to explain what the fuck I was trying to say. It had nothing to do with anybody else being bad listeners. Yeah, some people are. And at the same time, I was a bad describer and I was a bad explainer and I was a bad storyteller until I learned to start like so another class I took was introduction to leadership program, like ILP is the abbreviation. I also took 2 communications classes. Oh man, I'm kind of running out of time here, but I could go deep into those as well. But biggest thing is I learned how to speak, and I learned how to I learned about authenticity and integrity, and how to really just go for what you want and speak what you really mean. Those are like the biggest takes I took from it. And that's absolutely fucking life changing, because now I come from a context of like authenticity, integrity, and gratefulness. And that's like the only place I want to come from. You know what I mean?
Damn, dude.
Because that's real. That's really feeling and experiencing life at its fucking finest. You know what I mean? So that shit was tight, dude. Like I said, in the communications class, the first one I absorbed a lot. The second one, I was so fucking distracted. At that time, that was the hottest girl I'd ever seen. And I mean, woman, I should say, because she was significantly older than me. Yeah, at the time I was 24. I want to say, I think I was 24 and she was 41 or 2. I think she was 42. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. I was in way over my head. But nah, at the same time, nah, like, you know what I mean? I held my own. But it is what it is. So on that note, man, if anxiety and all that's kicking your ass, lean into it, discover what it is, sit with it, be with it, feel it, get to know it, become fucking homies with it. Like, that shit can really help you out when you listen to it, you know? When we heal and when we start healing our inner voice, and we start healing our hurt child inside of us, and we start really putting a focus on it, like, we're able to make some really incredible growth and creations happen, and really able to like make beautiful things in life. And most importantly, it's to be able to live a life that we love, you know? And that's almost like the whole point of this podcast. I realize that I'm very fumbly with my words and how I describe what this podcast is still when people ask me in real time. So I got to get better at it, because I know that I'm saying 100 things that just are kind of like, what, huh? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, I'm trying to see my camera if it's, it's still going. Yeah, so, you know, really training our subconscious and our inside and healing that. And I'm going to really go deep into this, like being able to clean and cleanse our inside thoughts and voices, our inner voice. And, yeah, and we'll go deeper into like spirituality and spirit guides and plant medicines, and going into the fucking jungles, and, you know, being 5 hours deep in the middle of Peru in the Amazon jungle, and working with shamans, and having sloths thrown at me, and I forgot I was going to talk about this. I didn't write it down. Was you know, also my first time in Peru, there's a riot between the people and the police, and I'm like supposed to walk through the middle of it to go to this fucking market, which everybody says is unsafe to go to, and I'm just like, oh, well, if this riot's not the unsafe place, where that's unsafe, fuck. But it really is, because they can do some energetic and spiritual shit that's on a whole nother level that, like I said, we will get into. But yeah, we'll get into how I healed pain from breaking over 64 bones, and how I'm able to live and, like, for the most part, be relatively pain-free, like, you know, as long as I don't do some new injury to myself. Which, as I've explained before, I'm still kind of healing. Actually, no, I'm healed, but it fucked me up for sure, which was herniating my back and slipping discs and all that shit, like, a little while ago. Anyway, on that note, man, this is a beautiful episode. Journey to inner peace. Yeah, man. I'm also going to get into how I got over my biggest life regret. I realized my biggest life regret and how I got over it. How also I learned appreciation to walk again and what it felt like and what that experience was like and how I got there. As well as, actually, and as well as like some badass opportunities for people too. Because a lot of people don't know. I did mention it earlier in this episode. If you're paying attention, it was a website I gave out. But yeah. Anyway, check back in with me on the next episode of the Damn Dude podcast with this multi-part series called The Journey to Inner Peace.
Damn, dude.
On that note, Rooster Tail, take us out. Much love, everybody. Peace. Rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior.
Damn, dude.